Right now, deep in your skull, your amygdala is firing like a stuck car alarm, and the neuroscientists who mapped it admit they can't switch it off. Every second it runs, it is sending a chemical cascade that is physically eroding the tissue in your memory center. You cannot feel the loss happening, but by the end of this, you will know the one rule that interrupts it. That structure, your fear center, was built for a different world. It was designed to fire once hard and then stop. You spotted a predator. You ran. You survived. The alarm shut off. But your brain cannot tell the difference between a threat to your body and a threat to your reputation. A deadline feels the same as a lion. An unanswered email fires the same neurons as an oncoming vehicle. So the alarm runs, and while it does, it is flooding your bloodstream with cortisol, your body's emergency hormone. We are going to get to exactly what that cortisol is doing inside your skull. But first you need to understand the part nobody tells you about how fast the damage starts. Cortisol has one job: keep you alive right now. It does not care about your memory. It does not care about your learning capacity or your ability to think clearly tomorrow. So it goes to work on the one structure that represents all of those things, the hippocampus. Your brain's filing system. Every skill you build, every memory you store, every fact you absorb has to pass through it. And cortisol binds directly to receptors on hippocampal neurons like a key fitting a lock. It stops new cells from forming. It causes existing branches to retract. Over weeks of chronic anxiety, it triggers actual cell death inside that tissue. The brain scans are unambiguous. People with anxiety disorders show a measurably smaller hippocampus than people without one. Not metaphor, not theory, actual physical loss. The shrinkage correlates directly with how long the anxiety has been running. The longer the alarm fires, the more of your filing system disappears. We are getting to how you stop it. The scientists who found this ran straight into a wall. Cortisol is not a bug. It is the system performing exactly as designed. You cannot block it without disrupting your immune response, your heart rate regulation, your metabolism. The drugs that suppress it broadly are more dangerous than the anxiety itself. The standard clinical tools, therapy, breathing techniques, medication work over time for most people. But while you wait, the erosion continues. And what researchers say privately is more alarming than what gets published. The amygdala and hippocampus are locked in a feedback loop. The amygdala fires, cortisol rises, the hippocampus shrinks, and a smaller hippocampus makes the amygdala more reactive. More reactive means it fires harder, more cortisol, more shrinkage. The loop tightens on itself. They have no clean way to break it from outside. Here is the part that should change how you think about everything you have been told to do about anxiety. Meditation, for many people, makes the cortisol load worse in the short term. Not because meditation is wrong. Because sitting quietly with an overactive amygdala is like standing next to the car alarm and trying to appreciate the silence around it. You are orienting your full attention toward the exact signal that is doing the damage. The same problem exists with deep breathing used in isolation. You interrupt the symptom. The cortisol already circulating stays. These are not circuit breakers. They are volume controls. And there is a second mechanism running alongside this one, a structural disconnection happening in your prefrontal cortex that is quietly eroding your decision-making architecture at the same time. Which means the rational mind you are using to try to fix the problem is also being degraded by the problem. The people who actually reverse the shrinkage are not using what the wellness industry sells. The rule is this: cortisol has a half-life of 60 to 90 minutes in your bloodstream. You cannot think it out of your system, but you can accelerate its metabolic clearance. The fastest known trigger for that clearance is a brief, voluntary burst of maximum physical effort followed immediately by complete stillness. Not a long run, not a workout. 6 to 10 seconds of full-effort muscle contraction, a hard sprint, a set of explosive squats, anything that recruits large muscle groups at maximum output, followed by 2 to 3 minutes of motionless silence. What this does physiologically, it mobilizes the circulating cortisol into active muscle tissue where it is consumed as metabolic fuel. The muscles burn it. The blood load drops. The amygdala receives a quieter signal. The hippocampus gets a window to stop the erosion. Elite military operators, competitive athletes, and high-stakes decision-makers describe versions of this protocol independently. They do not all know the mechanism. They know the output. 10 seconds of maximum effort buys 90 minutes of genuine calm. Tonight, find a wall. Push into it with everything you have for 8 seconds. Then sit down. Do not reach for your phone. Do not put on a podcast. Let your nervous system metabolize what your amygdala spent all day producing. Your hippocampus cannot regrow overnight, but you can stop today's damage from compounding into tomorrow's. That is the entry point. The alarm is not the only thing running. Because the amygdala is not the only structure quietly remodeling your brain without your permission. There is a second region, smaller, less discussed, never mentioned in wellness content, and the damage it causes does not shrink tissue. It severs the connections between what you know and what you can do with it. And the people losing that function fastest are the ones who believe they finally have their anxiety under control.